will be celebrating its 20th anniversary. And there will be a bigger occasion than this when we would again be extending an invitation to you to join the Comfort Sleep family as they celebrate 20 years of being in business. And this has been a journey that has seen a simple man, a simple family, working hard, sincerely, honestly, providing excellent products, service, and charity. He has had his trials, but today he is here with his wife and staff to commemorate a very significant occasion. And joining him are persons who have been with him and his wife and the company along this journey. Comfort Sleep has been the winner of many, many national, regional, and international awards for its products and service. And so I invite now Mr. Ramsey Ali, the president of the Guyana Manufacturers and Service Association, to make remarks today on behalf of the GMSA on this occasion. Ramsey?
Good afternoon, everybody. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Ramsroop, Jerry, Jim. If I say Mr. Foster, he's going to tell me his father is not here, and Mr. Raji. You know, every time I come to an event like this, and it has to do with the celebration of an achievement in a company that's involved in manufacturing in Guyana. You come here with a good feeling and you leave with a better feeling. I have known this company for a while, and I've seen the growth of this company over the years because of my association with the GMSA. And a little bit on a personal side. Manufacturing in this country has come a long way. You know, we still have our challenges to go, but every single day we are seeing the fruits of hard work, investment, and right now the support system that's available to us, both from the regulatory agencies, government, as well as the banking sector, is helping, is changing. 15, 20 years ago, you couldn't say that with some amount of self-respect. But to stand here and listen to the speaker talk about a little bit about, I'm sure Dennis is going to speak about his company. It's really a celebration, and I'm sure when he gets to his 20 years, we probably get invited again, as the speaker said. But I was reading a little bit from this press release that I was given, and it was nice to notice also that the story of where we are here would have started from an exhibition that we have attended in Barbados, which was organized chiefly by the Go Invest, the arm of the government. And that's a good thing also. It means that whatever we do, these things, they work. And there were a number of other success stories coming out of that exhibition in Barbados. We might not have celebrated them in the big way we're doing it today, but there were some smaller companies who have in fact made good business in Barbados from that event. So what I'm going to say to Peter this afternoon is, Peter, it works. So we need to do more of it. And you know, we don't have to wait on an event created by somebody else. the private sector can create together with government our own events, and we can start, targeting the diaspora, and we can create our own events and go there and get business expansion for companies like Comfort Sleep. I also want to say that over the years that I have known Mr. Charran and his association with GMSA, whenever we would have approached him for support for the GMSA, not a single time would he have said no. Every single event the GMSA has had over the years, Dennis Charran, Comfort Sleep, has supported it. Let's give him a round of applause for that, please. Thank you very much, sir. So, on behalf of the GMSA and myself, I applaud this venture. This is a very competitive business Comfort Sleep is in, very, very competitive. You're competing with the best companies in the world, technology, etc., etc. And the fact that you were able to export a product out of Guyana and compete in a country like Barbados, it means you've done well. You've done very well, sir. So to you and your family and your employees, I congratulate you. Well done. Thank you.
Thanks, Ramsey. Ladies and gentlemen, let me run the risk of ignoring a couple of names, but I have to at least recognize from the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Ms. Charran Alexander. Charran, just stand and give us a wave and look around. Shh. Charran is the Director of Industrial Development at the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce. Yes, that ministry is not tourism. It also has industry and commerce. And I know Charran has been working on the development of industrial estates, and at one time was directly in charge of the Eccles industrial site. And these sites take a number of years to develop. And today, the Eccles industrial site is one of our very productive industrial sites in our country. But it didn't just happen overnight. It took almost 20 years to develop. And a driver behind the development of these businesses, grandmothering them, holding their hands through, dealing with some of the challenges of the businesses here has been a real difficult one. And I personally would like to compliment Charran, the staff, and the ministry for their efforts. Our next speaker is Mr. James Foster, the CEO of the Guyana Bank for Trade and Industry. And this is a bank that stood by this business through thick and thin. And I'm confident that James has a lot to say and is very, very proud that their faith in Comfort Sleep is being justly rewarded. Mr. Foster?
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Mr. Speaker, members of the head table, Dennis and Mrs. Charran, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, the members of Comfort Sleep. You are the reason for Comfort Sleep's success, the employees of Comfort Sleep, and I want to applaud you for that contribution. I got here today not expecting to have to make a presentation, but I got here and I got a surprise saying, you need to say a few words. Needless to say, as a banker, I guess we're accustomed to surprises, so today is no exception. But it would be an honor to pass a few words about Comfort Suites. I wasn't here when they were established. They were established 20 years ago. I was just 1 year at the time. But having said that, I'm in Guyana for 3 years now, and I can attest to the works that they do, and more importantly, the manner in which they conduct their business at GBTI. If there's an extension of how they treat their customers, how they treat GBTI, I can assure their customers are well looked after. It's a testament to doing the right thing. You heard of Ramsey talk about the fact that this gentleman gives back to the community. It's a very important thing to have our businesses recognize their corporate and social responsibilities, and obviously Comfort Sleep does in fact do that, and do that exceptionally well. Like I said, I was only 1 year old when this company was started, but I understand when I was about 11, the company had a few challenges with respect to a fire. And Dennis was advising me the manner in which GBTI stood behind the company, and as a result of that was able to be reborn to the success that it is today. He was mentioning the fact that all we did was provide us your invoices, and we'll stand behind you. That's a testament to what banking is all about. It's a partnership. And I'm happy to say that our partnership with not only companies like Comfort Suite is alive and well and growing. What else can I say about this company other than the fact they're excellent corporate and social governance? Ladies and gentlemen, to get into the Barbados market, I worked in the Barbados market for 3 years. It's not an easy market to get into, but it obviously is a significant testament to the skills and the products that this company is producing to be able to enter that market. You heard Ramsey echo that a little bit previously, and I stand behind that. It's not the easiest of markets to get into. So the fact that Comfort Sleep is actually into that market and doing exceptionally well with the order they've recently received speaks significant volumes. I will not stand on protocol. Will not stand here. The speaker has indicated that he's a man of listening. I'm also a man of listening, and I'd like to pass on my congratulations to Comfort Suite, the employees of Comfort Suite, Mr. and Mrs. Charran. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you, James. For any business, whether it's manufacturing or service, the support of the financial sector is crucial. So at the beginning, you have to go to Roger, and if there is some disasters, let's hope you have adequate insurance coverage. And in this regard, GTM has been standing also very firm with Dennis. I, on a very rare occasion, was watching TV, and I noticed Dennis endorsing the next company. I invite Mr. Roger Yee from GTM to make his remarks.
Thank you very much. Master of Ceremony, Mr. and Mrs. Charran, distinguished members of the head table, invitees, employees, members of press, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. When Mr. Dennis Charran asked me a few minutes ago, if I could say a few words, I was pleasantly surprised. However, it's easy. Why? Because for somebody who deals with Mr. Charran, you understand that he's an honorable person. And speaking from the position of an insurer, in 2013, when Mr. Charran had, unfortunately, 2 incidents that would have crippled anybody, who have, in some cases, shut the business down, Mr. Dennis Charran proved why he is not only the perfect insured, but also somebody of character, integrity, strength, and determination. What we saw when we came was shocking. And I hope you don't mind Omar, but Omar, who immediately made contact, Mr. Omar Prasad is one of our distinguished and senior agents. He alerted us, we alerted the reinsurers. But what struck me was Mr. Charran not only did what a lot of clients fail to do when they have a loss. to present everything the insurer and reinsurer needed. In short, he made our job easier. He answered every question that needed to be answered. He provided every bit of information needed and in a timely manner. When we invited our reinsurance broker down from London to visit Comfort Sleep, in the words of Mr. Adam Gibb, who is a director for Alwyn Hodge Johnson, this gentleman is a perfect insured, an insurer's dream. Why? Because Mr. Charran, and it explains a lot when you look at the awards that Comfort Sleep has gotten. Those awards, I'm sure, are a result of Mr. Charran's attitude, his mantra. Everything about Mr. Charran, I'm sure, is embedded in those awards. Comfort Sleep has done well because, in our opinion, Mr. Charran is an outstanding citizen of Guyana, an outstanding businessman, a man of integrity. We did not have any challenges we face normally with individuals in assessing his claim. When we walk through, in insurance, one of the factors taken into consideration is risk management. And in terms of risk management, Mr. Charran is also a perfect client. Mr. Charran not only did not wait for a dollar from the insurer to start cleaning up, to start preparing, but he also, as I understood, ensured that the people who supplied him were taken care of. That philanthropic blood that runs through his veins. Mr. Charran, on behalf of the chairman, the board of directors, the entire GTM family across the two groups, the two companies, congratulations, well done. Very often, recently, everybody speaks about oil and gas. In fact, I've had a number of individuals call me from my home country, call me from other territories we operate in, and everybody says oil and gas. But I think a lot of individuals also forget that even before oil and gas, there were very successful sectors, very successful areas in which Guyana did very well. I believe Mr. Charran and his company is a reminder that there is far more to Guyana than oil and gas. Mr. Charran has been able to penetrate and supply a market that, as Mr. Foster rightly says, is a very tough market to get in sometimes. So Mr. Charran, congratulations to you and your family, and of course, your team members, your staff, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, Roger. I was looking at that 21-year-old at the head table. He certainly isn't aging well. And when he was just born, already Jerry and I was trying to shape tourism industry and commerce. And Captain Gavaya happens to also be the Honorary Consul of Barbados to Guyana. He wears many hats, and today going to his market would be this first container from Comfort Sleep. So I invite His Excellency, the Consul of Barbados to Guyana, Captain Jerry Gavaya, to make his remarks.
Thank you very much, Mansour. Members of the head table, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I could speak as the Honorary Consul of Barbados, but I want to say that this company, Comfort Sleep, I've actually had a long relationship with Roraima Airways, my own company. Both of us were promoting tourism when other people were not doing it. I remember every time we had some exhibition and some show that was promoting Guyana and marketing Guyana, they were always on board. And so, Ramsey, you're very right. They never turned their back when the private sector wanted to promote Guyana. They were always there with us. And I particularly remember they were always there as well in Wedding Expo. I think those mattresses was responsible for a lot of babies coming out, coming out of Wedding Expo. And I want to thank you very much for your support of the private sector over the years, and your support of tourism development in Guyana. Barbados and Guyana relationship go back a long, long, long time. And particularly, I must tell you, if you see the dynamism between the President of Guyana and the Prime Minister of Barbados, if you didn't know better, you believe that they were really in love. I mean, like really in love. When you see them together, there's a lot of magic and sparks, and they're really bringing our two countries together. And the whole issue of trading between Barbados and Guyana, I think the President and the Prime Minister of Barbados has been working overtime in giving meaning to that and not just talking about it. And so this here that Comfort Sleep is doing is really breaking into a market that is being opened by the President of Guyana and the Prime Minister of Barbados. We have actually started a while ago, Mansour, the exchange program. So we have been sending Guyanese to Barbados for training in tourism in their hotels, and they've been sending people to Guyana for training in agriculture. Because compound with the trade that will happen here is the issue of cross-fertilization in industry, whether it's tourism, whether it's manufacturing, whether it's particularly agriculture. So they had students here at the Guyana School of Agriculture being trained, while we had students in Barbados. And this exchange is going to continue as the Prime Minister of Barbados and the President of Guyana keep talking about food security for this region. This is leading the way, but already we had another company from the GMA, Durable Woods, that has been exporting prefab buildings to Barbados. And so I think this is a good start, a good trend. And Guyana is going to become the leader of the Caribbean. When those of you who are keeping your eye on what is happening to our economy, there's no way that we could afford to handle this economy by ourselves. So we will need to bring investors from all over the world, particularly from the Caribbean, and more particularly workers. Guyana just do not have enough people that will be able to support this economy when it comes 2027, 2028, and 2030. When there'll be so much money, we would have built every road, every school, every bridge, every church. And we are going to be creating and contributing to the well-being of the Caribbean. And the two leaders, the Prime Minister of Barbados and the President of Guyana, have been leading the way. And I want to say I'm very pleased to be here today for the loading of this container that will start a wave, I imagine, that is going to grow from strength to strength over the next couple of years. So thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Captain Govaya. Caribbean Export Promotion and Development has been with us for decades. And Jerry will tell you many times when we went to the export promotion expos that were established through the Caribbean Export Promotion and Development Agency, many times it was just our cottage industry, our craft producers going to these exhibitions. Comfort Sleep has been one of the bigger entities and doing it the right way. Comfort Sleep has come a very, very long way. And at this location, the journey started just under 20 years ago. Charran and I can tell you the history of this site, the one next door, the development of almost every company at this location. But one of the shining stars and the beacon for production at Eccles is Comfort Sleep. The young man who I'm calling next And I go back, James, not 20 years, but almost 60 years. Literally born 2 yards that were back to back. And not too far away from that, 2 corners away, another youngster was born. She is the minister in the Ministry of Housing and Water, Miss Suzanne Rodriguez. But I'm going to take the risk of being boring because a lot of the persons here would not know some of the history behind Eccles Industrial Site and also Comfort Sleep. So about 21 years ago, Dennis and two partners came to me looking for some land, and I was an opposition member of parliament. And then while we cut our hair, he doesn't have any left now, at the same place for the past 40 years odd. Later on, I would become the Minister of Tourism Industry and Commerce. And I accidentally bump into Dennis in the neighborhood. And he told me he was taking over a company owned by some Trinidadians. He was working for them, and they said, take it and pay me a fee. And he was at Coldingen, and he was looking for some place closer to town. And this spot was identified. But to tell you the story of Comfort Sleep and this container and the Barbados market, the man himself, the CEO, Managing Director of Comfort Sleep, Mr. Dennis Charran.
Good afternoon, all. If it sounds, hello? Hello? Yeah. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for being here today to celebrate, not to celebrate, to be with us on this special day, having entered the Barbados market. My family and I join and welcome you to Comfort Sleep. And it's a great honor for me to have you here to witness this momentous and significant event. In 2 months, Comfort Sleep, as the speaker just said, Comfort Sleep will be celebrating their 20th anniversary. And I know a lot of you will be here, a lot more too will be here to celebrate with us. But go back to today, our journey to this point, we had worked hard, we had a lot of hurdles in our way. We had, in 2013, everything was down and out for me. I was down on my knees. And like you didn't know which way to turn. When we had two fires at the same location, one where we're standing right now, and the second one at the other over there. Then I was calling to GBTI to reach with the executives board, and we had a discussion, and they were ready to help. Without any question, they said, listen, get the machines and the PI for the machines, the invoices, and send it to us, and we'll pay for it. And that was like a plus for me, And I come back to office, I got to the company to send me the invoices, and we sent it to GBTI, and they paid for all the machines that we need immediately. And after that, we started concentrating on billing. And meanwhile, the machine was on its way. And we started back again. By God's grace, we're here again, being one of the biggest manufacturers in Guyana of foam and spring mattress. Also, we do our own memory foam mattress here, which most of the Caribbean islands, they import their memory foam. I know for sure Trinidad does. We manufacture our memory foam here. We're about to embark on doing manufacturing the cooling gel foam here shortly. The chemical is already here. We just have to run some tests. And Comfort Sleep will keep going on and on, being innovated to produce the best. We always believe in standard and good quality. And this is what we go by. But with this occasion today, I want to say a special thanks to Dr. Peter Ramsarup and his hard-working staff. This would not be possible. You know, I wasn't really intent of going to the AgriFest in Barbados, but here at AgriFest, I thought it was about agriculture product. And it wasn't of an interest of me, and I was keep pushing at it, but then Mr. Peter have some very good staff, very hardworking staff. They keep pushing me to it, and I went, and it was great. It turned out to be great. And the first day, we actually started getting orders. What we took up was sold out, and people want to know when they could get a product, where they could get a product, when it's coming in. The product is good compared to what we're having now. The prices are very competitive. And that's what encouraged me more. I have had 2 meetings more with Dr. Peter Ramsarup, and here we are. We are entering the market now. And again, thanks to Go Invest and a dedicated staff. The Barbados market is a significant breakthrough for Comfort Sleep. And, you know, getting into Barbados market is not an easy task, as we already heard. We got into other market, which is much easier. We got into Dominica, which we are presently. We were in St. Lucia, which we will be going back into, and Suriname as well. And that could tell what kind of product we produce, you know, the quality of the product. When you can do export in the capacity and enter those countries that is producing mattress and foam and spring mattress, both mattresses, and you could enter that market and compete in that market, it tells you what we produce. We produce only the best. And we believe in that. I don't compromise on my quality for pricing. Our prices are very competitive. We have more than 75% share in the local market. And that's because of the quality of the product. We have the best after-sales service, which is, don't mind where you buy the product. It could be at any outlets. You can call us if you have a problem. You don't have to go to the store where you bought the product. You call us and we deal with it. We send someone to pick it up and see what is the problem, and we fix it. We don't give you that trouble to go through to the store, and then the store have to get back to us, and it's a long drawn out story. You call us and we fix the problem. That's what we stand by, and you know, it's not much of calls we've been getting. So I mean, the product is a good product. I want to say thanks to the Honorable Speaker. He's always been a person with ideas, leadership, and commit to assisting people. True, I'm not so much younger than him. We literally grew up in the same neighborhood, as he just said. And he had encouraged me more and more, and any advice I need, I could call him at him any time. And he would answer his phone, whether what time it is. He would answer his phone, or he would call me back. And he was always there for any advice. He pushed me into taking part in Guy Expo, which was the big thing 20 years ago, 19 years ago. And from that, we went into all the other expo, which include Barbados, Essequibo, Linden, Cuba, Atlanta, Jamaica, and now we went into Jamaica, Barbados. We also went into Suriname. Comfort Sleep started in 2003, and we have grown from then to now. When we started with one product, just making foam mattresses and foam sheets. Right now, as I'm standing here, we are making 8 different types of product. 4 different types of foam mattresses and 4 different types of spring mattresses. And we're going to keep going and be more innovative at all times in the mattress industry. Because it's an industry that are growing and more technical machines are coming out, which I just have ordered some machines which we will be able to be more efficient and more productive. If we intend to go into marketing the CARICOM, we have to be ready. So we will be ready. And we will be erecting the next building on the same spot to widen our production area. And with this, I have will Comfort Sleep always stand behind its product and its confidence as always, and ready to the growing need of mattresses. We have incorporated our company now. We're having a next company, Comfort Villa, which we start making buildings and apartment buildings. We have 3 of them right now. And actually, they're fully booked for a couple of years, and we are supplying most of the local hotel in Guyana. Also, most of those apartment buildings that is going up, we are supplying mattresses to them as well. This order here that we're doing, it's like it represents the order of 263 mattresses, and this is the first order. We still have our next order pending for Savannah Beach Hotel, which is 190 mattresses. We're waiting for the PI to come back. So with this, we know that this can tell the story behind Comfort Sleep. We had our trial days. We went through. I would tell you, it's not something nice. I don't even like to talk about it, because it gets to me. It leaves a spot in my life where after Bill back, I got sick with anxiety, and then was able to recruit from that and keep going. The past with that fire, because the hurtful thing with that fire was arson. And with that would make me, it hurt me a lot to know. And the suspect, which was never found guilty or never prosecuted because there was no evidence, was somebody who I trusted. Trusted very well. She was, like my right hand, not knowing. I couldn't believe she would have done something like this. But there's a God, and one day that will be taken care of in its own way. He helped me through that period of time, and I was able to come back to where I am today. And we're going to keep growing, and we're going to keep doing more product, be more innovative of making different types of mattresses as we go along. I want to thank you all again for being here. And I want to say, too, a special thanks to my loyal and dedicated staffs for always working hand in hand with me throughout the years. It is an honor to have each one of you here present today. I say thank you all. God bless.
Thank you very much, Mr. and Mrs. Charran. That's part of the story. In 2 months, we'll get the other part of the story. Again, the young man at the table, Mr. Foster. This other gentleman, Mr. Foster, is aging better than you. And he and I go back almost 25 years too. He is the Chief Executive Officer of the Guyana Office for Investment and a popular TV personality and a politician of no mean regard also. So please join me in extending for the feature address a warm welcome to Dr. Peter Ramsarut.
It's not often you get a chance to have two mentors at the same table, NSA and the speaker themselves. So we go back a long way, as the speaker said. It's great to have mentors like that in our nation. And you know, anything he said about young, if you add VAT on that, then you know the right answer to the age. But what is exciting about this event, and as you listen to His Excellency speaks, he used the term transformation, what we will be like in 2030. But when you think of what transformation means, this is exactly an indicator of the results of the transformation that is taking place in our country as we speak. If you listen to him again, you don't hear a lot of conversations on oil and gas. You know, we may throw out 11 billion barrels of oil or future monetization of the gas, but it's not that what he speaks about. He's speaking about transformation in the manufacturing sector, in the agriculture sector, the tourism sector, and many other sectors. What is, I think, the plus to what is happening today is when you think of the next phase of Guyana, which in 2020 to 2023, we have had a lot of support in investments in the oil and gas sector. We have heard about the Exxons of the world coming in, the Schlumbergers and all of the big boys in support of the oil and gas sector. But the President's vision of bringing energy costs down by 50% by 2025 will revolutionize the manufacturing sector. So 24 and 25 will be pivotal and explosion years in the manufacturing sector. So what you're seeing here today is someone that has had the vision for a long time, stuck it out, but now will be a leading source as we bring energy costs down. Imagine Mr. Charran being able to bring his operating costs down. We are pushing the export market, and thanks to my staff, Kibian is here, and Allison, and we have a staff in Barbados that saw the relationship being cultivated. And what Mr. Charran said is not just about the deal, is holding hands and walking through and how to show the world that Guyana can produce some of the best products around the region. We have two other major announcements. I think one was already made where only coconut now is being distributed across the region, another manufacturing component of Guyana. We've got a young entrepreneur that is dehydrating the pineapples and the other fruits in Guyana, and it's selling on the West Coast in Barbados. So these are all things that are happening in front of us. So when we listen to the term transformation from His Excellency, it is real. And what we have to look forward to, Guyana is exploding as we speak. I'd like to use the example of buying a stock. And we have named the stock 1GY, a three-letter symbol that can be traded on the New York Stock Exchange. And if you look at every number that why you would buy a stock in a company, you look at our GDP growth last year at 62%, this year at 37%. Our per capita is at 19,000. We will be half of the United States by 2030 plus. You look at the fact that we are producing close to 1 million barrels in a few years, way before the time we thought we'll produce 1 million barrels. And we haven't even talked about the monetization of gas. So when we listen to all that is happening, and I tell both local investors and international investors, read our national budget. The Speaker every year announces that national budget. You will learn where you fit. And for those in the audience or those listening, this is not about investments coming in. It's about where and what we take out of the system. So you will see when government invest in cheaper energy, what do you want to do? Mr. Charran said, I want to build another building. I'm going to expand my factory, because he knows what will happen. Right? So all of us got to wake up every morning and says, the wealth in Guyana is for every one of us. The president said his measurement of success is prosperity for all Guyanese. So we've got to take it. Right? So you may think you may just be a worker and maybe, my wages are going up incrementally. All of us don't have to be entrepreneurs, but if we can make a product like this so successful that it's across the Caribbean, what else could we do? And I'm sure Mr. Charran got a very good benefits package, and it will continue to grow. We all may be impatient. As Guyanese, we always like to complain. We always are impatient. But the fact that we will be the recipients of the newfound prosperity. And I will leave you with this. Every dream your grandparents had of what Guyana should look like, every dream your parents had that Guyana should look like, and every dream you have, we will get to see it real time. So don't let this go past you. This is a successful announcement that's being made today, but it all represents what all of us can contribute to our nation and be part of the development. Transformation is real, and congratulations to Mr. Charran on the successful closing of a large deal in Barbados. It's a lot more to go. Imagine when we are able to announce other products in Guyana, what that will do. The Manufacturing Association has done a great job in the promotion. Mr. Ramsey will tell you that it's not about our office out there doing the promotions alone. It's working together as a team to ensure that Guyanese products become known in the region. 25% by 2025 is real. Agriculture is real. Agro-processing is real. Be part of the development. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ramsarup. Ladies and gentlemen, as we close, let me give you the excuses. His Excellency asked me to congratulate Comfort Sleep. His Excellency is on his way to Brasilia this time. Ministers Walron and Todd, the Minister of International Cooperation, is on his way to New York, and also Minister Walron. So His Excellency sent a message last night, and he said, tell Onesh, let her come and speak. So I said, the feature address is being done by Dr. Ramsarup, and Minister Walron is leaving the country. He said, very good. And for Peter, that was very well said, the future of Guyana. I said we had young people here. It has not been an easy ride for Guyana to get its products into Caribbean markets. In spite of the CARICOM single market and economy, and we have Mr. Hassan here, Ramsey, other man, it's been tough, extremely tough. Couple of examples. We had a big market in Barbados for our fruits and vegetables. And at the turn of the century, a lot of this was products going out, sometimes in suitcases. And when we tried to formalize it, we heard all kinds of excuses from Barbados too, the agricultural department. And Nizam can tell you, for 2 years, we had to station a Barbados agricultural officer in Guyana to examine every product before it goes into a country, for 2 years. Right at the Sophia exhibition site, Nizam was exporting for 2 years. We had to do that. To get our rice to Jamaica, another challenge. We had to get certification from the Jamaica National Bureau of Standards. But they were a bit more cooperative. And so the officers came, examined our GNBS, and we had to sign a formal document where the Jamaica Bureau of Standards authorized our Guyana National Bureau of Standards to issue quality certificates for our rice before it entered Jamaica. Poultry products. The horrors of trying to get into markets like Trinidad and Tobago. And even this afternoon, to getting this container out. Now the issue is not them, it's us. Because we need an export license for the base, which is constructed of pine wood. We don't produce pine in Guyana. We import that, but the container has to get forestry's permission for that pine wood base, and it's only 3 bases with 200 and something mattresses. So we are now waiting for the approval. But in order to do that, Mr. Charran, his manufacturer of the base, has to get the certification from Gafour's to show Gafour is a certified importer of pine wood before we could re-export. So Peter, these are some of the challenges which we have to overcome. And while it's been a long journey, many persons would not bother with the red tape. So young people, Mr. Charran could easily throw his hands up in the air. 50,000 house lots in 5 years. Each house lot, you might end up seeing a 2-bedroom house on half of them. So that's 100,000 beds in 5 years. And Charran has 75% of the market. So I'm sure he's scrambling not only to provide that 100,000 mattresses, but to get a bigger share of the market. Our country will have 400,000 in the next 10 years migrant workers. Guyanese, we're not going to do certain work. So you have to find a place, a comfort sleep mattress to put them on. And Peter, in 10 years, how many hotel rooms we'll have? 20,000? So that is the market for one product. And it reminded me of a visit then Prime Minister Hines and I made to China. And we went to a furniture company that specialized in bedroom suites for hotels. And the guy said, sorry, I don't need to export because I have an order for 1,800 rooms in China alone. What I need is your wood to make it. Ladies and gentlemen, the vista out there is very promising. And as our song says, onward, upward may we ever go. Let us continue to show what Guyana's sons and daughters can do. Thank you all on behalf of Mr. and Mrs. Charran for coming. And please, let us witness the loading of this container and many more to come. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you very much.